We have another nice little question here where we have to write a C++ program to determine if two words are anagrams, right? So an anagram would be two words are anagrams if we can take the letters of one word and rearrange it to make some other words. So in this case here, listen and silent both happen to be anagrams. Now, this is just one solution, right? A possible solution for this problem. There are many solutions. But one way is to first think about them. Well, as always, right, we're going to deal with them in terms of C strings. Okay, so I want you to picture them like this, right? You have like L, I, S, T, E, N, and of course, your terminating character in S1. And for S2, we have the letters of the other word, which is S-I-L-E-N-T. And don't forget the /0 at the end. One way to approach this question is we have I, and we'll use I to go through S1. Whatever S1 of I happens to be, in this case we're going to start off with it being L, we have a J, right? So we have J, and J goes through S2 like this. See? J is going to go through S2. And when J finds the letter that we are looking for, in this case L, replace L with an asterisk. Or any, it doesn't have to be an asterisk, but something that is not a character. Okay? So I'm going to use asterisks. So effectively what we do here is take the letters from S1, search for it in S2, and delete it by replacing them with asterisks. And we will end up with something like this, right? So at the next point, I would be I, S1 of I would be I, and we will search through S2 for I, and we will find I inside of S2, and we replace I with an asterisk, just like that. If S1 and S2 are anagrams, then by the end of this process, the entirety of S2 will be asterisks, and that is all we would have to check for. That's the process we're going to use. So now just to think about the code to get this done, right? It's going to be a bool function isAnagram, and all we need are our two C strings, our two character arrays like that. I will need I and J. I'm going to use I to go through S1, set I to 0. And I also have a J. J is going to go through S2. And I start up a while loop here. I say while S1 of I isn't our terminating character /0. So this basically says while we haven't reached the end of S1, set J to 0 and let's go through S2. So while here, while S2 of J is not the terminating character like that. I have an if statement inside here. I say if I find S1 inside of S2, so that means if S1 of I happens to equal S2 of J, then what should I do, right? I should, at this point, I should say set S2 of J to an asterisk, like that. And I can break. What break will do, it will quit this inner while loop because I don't need to check through the rest of it, right? So I break immediately, just like that. And we can have an interesting thing here. I've done this before. I say bool found. I set found to false. Okay, in fact, we should really set found to false on the inside of this while loop here. So I set found to false. And the idea here is that if I find S1 inside of S2, then I can set found to true because I found what I was looking for. And outside of this while loop here, the inner while loop, so outside the inner while loop but inside the outer while loop, I can check if not found. Because if I look through S1 and I couldn't find S2 in there, so it's not found, then all I need to do is I could immediately at this point just return false because I couldn't find what I'm looking for. Right, what am I missing here? Inside of this while loop, I increment my j. Inside of this while loop, I increment my i's. And now, when we have finished both of this, or at least when we've reached the end, by the time we reach the end of S1, the only thing we have to check for now is we have to go through S2 again, so I could set back j to 0. We have to go through S2, and this is us going through S2. And all we have to check for is if we find something that is not an asterisk. Alright, so if S2 of j is not an asterisk, then that would indicate that there was some letter in S1 that we could not find inside of S2. So we can return false, because it wouldn't be an anagram. And on the outside here, we can return true. This here is a nice simple approach on how to do an anagram question. So let's test it out. I need 2 C strings. I'm going to use the listen and I'll use listen and silent again, just like in the example. So S1, set this to listen. I make the assumption here that both C strings are in the same case, so they are both either uppercase or lowercase. That's a big assumption here. Silent. These two things should be anagrams. So if I see out isAnagram S1 S2 or S2 S1, doesn't matter. We'll just switch it up. So S1 S2. Then I run it, I check, I compile anagram. And it's stuck in an infinite loop for some reason. Right, the reason why it's stuck in a loop is because right here I didn't increment my j. So all I have to do is increment my j at that point. And I quit that, I recompile, I rerun, and it says 1. It says 1 because these two words are anagrams, right? Let's say I changed one of these letters. I put an A in there, which these two things should not be anagrams now. They shouldn't be anagrams. So if I run this here and I run it there, it returns 0 because those two words are not anagrams. You could go ahead and test this out a little more on your own, but this here is a nice simple solution on how to determine if S1 and S2 are anagrams.